In Search of Lost Time, or À la recherche du temps perdu, as it's known in French, is a novel that spans 7 volumes or 4,211 pages. Written by French author Marcel Proust over a period of 13 years from 1909 to 1922, it is a novel that is not for the faint-hearted. Yet, In Search of Lost Time is often considered to be one of the greatest achievements in literature. And there's a good reason why. Marcel Proust's monumental work is a literary odyssey that is a meditation on life, time, and the very essence of being. The novel is narrated by an unnamed protagonist, often assumed to be a semi-autobiographical representation of Proust himself, and is structured on the narrator's recollections of his experiences growing up in late 19th and early 20th century France. One of the most prominent scenes that Proust is most famous for, and may sound familiar to you even if you haven't read any of his works, is the madeleine scene that crops up in the first few pages of In Search of Lost Time. It is a beautifully crafted narrative device that starts off the novel. In the initial scenes leading up to the famous madeleine moment in Swann's Way, which is the first volume in Search of Lost Time, the narrator struggles to remember a certain moment in his past, this being the time spent in his family's country home in Cambrai. The narrator goes so far as to declare that the town for him was effectively dead in his mind. This all changes one day when he arrives home slightly chilled. Seeing that he was cold, his mother offers him tea, something that he normally does not have but decided to accept this time. Served up with a madeleine to accompany it, the protagonist dips it into the tea and bites into the madeleine. The taste and texture of the madeleine, combined with the aroma of the tea, soon triggers a flood of memories from the narrator's childhood in Cambrai. No sooner had the warm liquid and the crumbs with it touched my palate, a shudder ran through my whole body, and I stopped, intent upon the extraordinary changes that were taking place. An exquisite pleasure had invaded my senses, but individual, detached, with no suggestions of its origin. And at once, the vicissitudes of life had become indifferent to me, its disasters innocuous, its brevity illusory, this new sensation having had on me the effect which love has of filling me with the precious essence. Or rather, this essence was not in me, it was myself. I had ceased now to feel mediocre, accidental, mortal. Whence could it have come to me, this all-powerful joy? Now, what makes this moment significant is the way in which a simple sensory experience serves as a catalyst for a cascade of memories that had been buried in the depths of the narrator's mind. As the narrator describes the sensation of the madeleine in his mouth and the taste of the tea, he is suddenly transported back in time. The taste and smell of the madeleine evoke a specific memory of a similar experience from his past when his aunt offered him a madeleine dipped in tea. This involuntary memory, sparked by the sensory experience, sets the stage for the narrator's extensive reflections on time, memory, and the complex underpinnings of the human mind throughout the novel. The tea and the madeleine become symbolic elements that open a portal to the narrator's rich and complex inner world. This is just one of the many examples of what may be ordinary reflections that Proust is able to capture in such vivid and intimate detail. Similarly, in Swann's Way, the narrator discusses the confusion and disorientation that one may experience in the transition from sleep to wakefulness. He is able to do this at length and articulate a seemingly common occurrence which we may struggle to put into words. Yet, Proust's language flows in such a way that he is able to carry its reader along across several pages, and I do mean several pages, in long, flowing sentences that provide an immersive experience into that very feeling. It's almost as if one can feel and touch that delicate boundary between the world of dreams and that of reality. This complexity of consciousness is intertwined with time and memory, and Proust artfully utilizes these elements throughout this novel to explore and construct our understanding of reality and the elusive nature of time. The novel itself is a series of reflections, observations, and recollections, with the narrator delving into his past and examining the people, places, and events that have shaped his life. The characters in the novel are intricately woven into the fabric of the narrator's memories, and the relationships and interactions serve as a lens through which Proust explores themes such as love, jealousy, art, and societal norms. This all takes place within the backdrop of the French aristocracy and bourgeois society during the time period. So why should you read Proust? If anything, you should not necessarily read this gargantuan novel for its plot. You should read it because Proust is a master at recounting the supposedly trivial moments that are infused in our daily lives, but yet aren't given the time or space to be fully explored and understood. For example, what does the Madeleine moment tell us? It would appear that the scene with the narrator recalling this lost memory after biting into the tea-soaked Madeleine should serve as a poignant reminder of the fluidity of time. Proust almost urges his readers to acknowledge the transitory nature of existence and to find solace in the act of recollection. In the midst of life's persistent forward march, the Madeleine becomes a touchstone, a momentary pause that allows us to grasp the threads of our own personal narratives. Reading Proust, then, is not merely an intellectual exercise. It is an invitation to engage with the ephemeral beauty of life's fleeting moments. Whether it be the scene with the Madeleine or the narrator's dreamlike state when waking up, In Search of Lost Time encapsulates the transformative power of literature, encouraging us to approach our own experiences with heightened awareness and appreciation. It is a call to savor the nuances of our existence and to recognize the extraordinary within the ordinary. In the quiet simplicity of a Madeleine, we are able to awaken a part of us that we did not know existed today, and in that act can appreciate this brief, transitory moment that is life itself.